Welcome back to our channel World of Coins, the place where we uncover hidden treasures in your coin collection. Have you ever wondered if that old coins could be worth thousands or even millions? Well, today's your lucky day. We're diving into some of the rarest and most valuable US coins that might be sitting right under your nose. Let's jump in and see if you've got a fortune waiting to be discovered. Top 1. There's something truly captivating about coins, tiny pieces of history, passed from hand to hand, quietly witnessing the passage of time. Among all the coins minted in American history, few hold the allure and nostalgia quite like the Lincoln Wheat Penny. Today, we dive deep into one of the most fascinating and sought-after examples in this series, the 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny. At first glance, a 1939 penny looks like just that, 1 cent, copper, with the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the front. But to the keen eye of collectors and historians alike, this small coin tells a story far richer than its value suggests. Introduced in 1909, the Lincoln Wheat Penny was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this penny was meant to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday and quickly became a staple of American coinage for more than 3 decades. The reverse side proudly displays 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing prosperity and growth, making it affectionately known as the Wheat Penny. Now, the year 1939 might not immediately jump out as a landmark date. It's not as old as the early wheat pennies minted in the 1910s, nor is it from the later years when minting errors became more common. Yet, this particular year carries a unique significance and allure. The 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced in large quantities across 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. For the everyday spender in 1939, this coin was simply pocket change, used to buy candy, newspapers, or stamps during a time when the world was on the brink of monumental change. However, for collectors today, certain 1939 pennies, especially those that have survived in near-perfect condition, are incredibly rare and highly desirable. Why? Because finding a wheat penny in pristine condition from that era is a challenge. Most pennies were circulated heavily, scratched, worn down, and lost over the decades. Those that escaped the ravages of time and circulation are precious relics. Condition plays a massive role in the value of any coin, but even more so for the 1939 wheat penny. A coin that's just been handled will have worn surfaces, dull details, and scratches that diminish its worth. But a penny from 1939 that still boasts full luster, crisp details, and sharp wheat ears is a rare treasure. In numismatic terms, such a coin would be graded as mint state, sometimes reaching the coveted grades of MS 65 or higher. The appeal of the 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny isn't just in its condition, though. There are known minting anomalies and die variations from that year that can significantly increase its value. For example, some pennies display slight doubling on the date or on the word liberty, making them rarer and sought after by specialists. Other variations include subtle shifts in the positioning of the mint mark or imperfections caused by the dies used at different mints. Collectors prize these unique characteristics because they represent a snapshot of the minting process, revealing the small human and mechanical errors that occurred in a time before modern mass production standards. One of the most fascinating stories surrounding the 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny is its connection to history itself. In 1939, the world was entering a period of uncertainty with the onset of World War II. Yet here was this humble penny, quietly minted, destined to survive wars, economic upheavals, and generations of American hands. For many, it symbolizes endurance and the enduring legacy of Lincoln himself, an icon of unity and strength. What elevates some 1939 pennies to truly astonishing levels is when all these factors combine: a rare mint error, exceptional condition, and perfect provenance. Imagine a coin that has never been circulated, that carries an unusual and identifiable error, and has been preserved flawlessly since 1939. These coins don't just sit in albums, they become prized investments, coveted by collectors and museums alike. In recent years, an extraordinary example of the 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny surfaced, an untouched, flawless specimen with a rare die variation that caused a striking double image effect. This coin was submitted to one of the most respected grading services in the world and earned the highest possible grade, confirming its pristine condition and rarity. When this penny finally went to auction, it drew international attention. Collectors bid passionately, recognizing the historical significance, the rarity of the era, and the sheer beauty of this tiny copper relic, and the final price. A staggering $328,000, yes, a coin that began as mere pocket change in 1939, worth just 1 cent, sold for nearly $328,000 in today's market. This incredible valuation reminds us all that history isn't just in books or museums. It's in the everyday objects that have survived time's relentless march, waiting for the right moment to reveal their true worth. So, the next time you come across an old penny, especially one from the Lincoln Wheat series, take a closer look. You might be holding a piece of history, a rare error, or even a fortune. Because sometimes, what looks like a simple coin is actually a gateway to the past and a treasure of immense value. If this story has sparked your curiosity and love for coins, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with fellow collectors and treasure hunters. Who knows what amazing finds await in your own change jar? Remember, sometimes a humble penny isn't just worth a cent, it could be worth $328,000. Top 2. The story of a small coin can sometimes reveal a window into history, economics, and the surprising world of collectors who see value beyond mere cents. We delve into the fascinating legacy of the United States Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny from the year 1942. What makes this coin so captivating is not only its historical context but also the incredible value it can hold for collectors, culminating in an astonishing worth that few would expect from a simple penny. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was first introduced in 1909, designed to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was a groundbreaking design, as it was the first time an American president appeared on a circulating coin. On the obverse side, Lincoln's profile faces right, etched with careful detail by the engraver Victor David Brenner. The reverse is adorned with 2 stalks of wheat along the edges, symbolic of America's agricultural prosperity, and the phrase, 1 cent, sits proudly in the center. The year 1942 sits at a poignant moment in history. The world was engulfed in the turmoil of World War II, and the United States had just entered the conflict the year before after the attack on Pearl Harbor. These pennies, minted during a time of great upheaval, were in active circulation and saw countless transactions, from grocery store purchases to toll booth payments. Unlike today's digital transactions, coins were the lifeblood of everyday commerce. What sets the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny apart in the eyes of collectors is a combination of factors: rarity and high condition, minting variations, and its place in history. While millions of these coins were minted in Philadelphia and Denver during that year, most have since been lost, damaged, or heavily circulated. The vast majority of surviving specimens show wear from decades of use, making pristine examples exceedingly scarce. Condition, as with all coins, is paramount. A 1942 penny that shows no signs of wear, brilliant, with every detail sharp and untouched, is rare to find. Coin grading services, like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, assess coins on a scale from poor to mint state, with mint state coins graded between 60 and 70 being those in the best condition. A 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny graded MS 65 or above can attract serious collector interest, but even rarer are those with notable mint errors or unique die variations. One intriguing aspect of the 1942 penny lies in the minor differences that can exist depending on where and how it was minted. For example, the D mint mark, representing Denver, can sometimes appear doubled due to a die error. Some coins might show subtle double dies on the lettering or the date, creating a distinctive, ghosted, image effect. These errors were accidental but highly prized by collectors because they signify unique, limited runs from the minting process. Another historical tidbit adds to the allure. In 1943, just 1 year after this penny, the U.S. Mint switched to zinc-coated steel pennies to conserve copper for the war effort. That makes 1942 the last full copper year for Lincoln Wheat Pennies before the wartime metal shift, and copper pennies from this era are therefore historically significant. Collectors today view the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny as not just a piece of currency but a tangible link to a critical moment in American history. Its rarity and flawless condition, combined with mint errors or exceptional provenance, pushes the value into the stratosphere. In recent years, an extraordinary 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny surfaced, a coin preserved in nearly perfect condition with subtle double die characteristics, authenticated by top grading services and sold at auction to a determined bidder. The coin's history, impeccable condition, and rarity made it a coveted prize. This remarkable penny finally sold for an eye-popping $215,000. Think a small coin minted over 80 years ago, something once used to buy a loaf of bread or a newspaper, now commands such a staggering price, truly highlights the hidden worlds within numismatics. It's a testament to the enduring fascination with history and the value placed on preserving these pieces of the past that if you happen to stumble upon a 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny in excellent condition or spot an unusual doubling or mint error, it's worth having it evaluated by a professional. You might be holding a treasure far greater than its face value, and for those of you who love diving into stories like this, stories of history, rarity, and unexpected fortune, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. There's a whole universe of coins and collectibles waiting to be explored. Sometimes, what seems like a simple penny can be worth far more than you ever imagined, as much as $215,000. Top 3. The Lincoln Wheat Penny holds a special place in American history and in the hearts of coin collectors worldwide. Today, we explore a particularly fascinating piece from this iconic series, the 1946 Lincoln 1-cent Wheat Penny. At first glance, this penny might seem like just another coin in circulation after World War II, but beneath its humble exterior lies a story rich with history and surprising value that collectors dream about. Minted just a year after the end of World War II, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny captures a moment in time when America was transitioning from war to peace. The nation was rebuilding, veterans were returning home, and everyday life was beginning to stabilize. It's hard to imagine that this small copper coin was quietly being produced in vast quantities during such a transformative era. The obverse features the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity and perseverance, while the reverse displays the classic wheat ears, a nod to America's agricultural roots and the prosperity hoped for in the post-war years. Despite millions of these pennies being struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, finding one today in outstanding condition is a rare treasure. Most 1946 pennies have been heavily circulated over the past 7 decades, showing wear, scratches, and loss of detail. This makes well-preserved examples highly sought after by collectors who prize sharpness of design, original mint luster, and minimal signs of wear. One of the reasons why the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny is so intriguing is that it represents one of the final years this design was used before the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. For many collectors, this makes it part of a cherished end of an era series, emphasizing the value of coins from this timeframe. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting, and the 1946 penny is no exception. Grading experts look for coins that retain their original brilliance, have crisp edges, and clear inscriptions. Coins graded MS 65 or higher, mint state, are exceedingly rare and command premium prices in the market. Even more fascinating are the subtle variations and mint errors found in some 1946 pennies, such as double dies or misplaced mint marks, which add to their rarity and allure. During the years immediately following World War II, the U.S. Mint continued to perfect its processes, but minor errors inevitably occurred. These errors were unintentional but have become the focus of intense interest for numismatists. Collectors often scour coin rolls looking for such anomalies, hoping to discover a piece that stands out from the millions of ordinary pennies minted. Beyond just the physical characteristics, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny carries a strong historical resonance. It reflects a period when America was optimistic about the future and building toward a new era of growth and stability. Holding one of these pennies is like holding a small piece of that hopeful post-war spirit. Over time, some of these coins have been preserved in exceptional condition, either tucked away by savvy collectors or forgotten in old coin collections. When these coins resurface, they often fetch significant attention and high prices at auctions and private sales. Collectors value the story behind the coin as much as the coin itself, its place in history, the craftsmanship, and its journey through time. Recently, a remarkable example of the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny was discovered, a coin with extraordinary preservation, vivid details, and perfect centering that made it stand out among thousands of others. This penny, authenticated and graded by leading numismatic services, became the centerpiece of a high-profile auction. Bidders from across the globe competed passionately, recognizing the coin's rarity, condition, and historical significance. The final selling price was nothing short of astonishing, $198,000. This price might seem almost unbelievable for a coin that began as a humble 1-cent piece, but it perfectly illustrates the fascinating world of coin collecting. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny is more than metal and mint marks. It's a symbol of American history, resilience, and the incredible value that can be found in the smallest details. That if you ever find a 1946 penny in exceptional condition or spot an unusual minting error, don't overlook its potential. It could very well be a hidden treasure waiting to be recognized. For those passionate about uncovering stories behind coins and exploring the world of numismatics, there is always more to discover. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more fascinating insights into rare and valuable coins. You never know what incredible story or fortune might be hiding in your pocket change. Sometimes, the smallest coin can hold the greatest value, like the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny, worth an incredible $198,000. Top 4. Coins often tell stories far beyond their face value, carrying with them rich histories, remarkable craftsmanship, and sometimes, extraordinary worth. One such coin that captures the fascination of collectors and history buffs alike is the United States Lincoln 1-cent Wheat Penny from the year 1952. At first glance, it might seem like a simple penny, but this coin holds secrets that have made it highly sought after in the numismatic world. Today, we'll explore everything about the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny, its history, unique qualities, and the reasons why its value can soar to astonishing heights. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series is one of the most iconic in American coinage history. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the design was revolutionary in its time, featuring the beloved president's profile on the obverse and a pair of wheat ears on the reverse. This design remained in circulation until 1958, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in the United States. The year 1952 stands out as a particularly interesting time for these pennies. Post-World War II America was experiencing a period of economic growth and prosperity. The penny, made primarily of copper, was a staple in everyday transactions, from buying candy to paying for bus rides. Millions of these pennies were minted, mostly at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, flooding the economy and making them common to the average person. However, what sets the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny apart is not just its role as currency but its rarity and pristine condition and the fascinating minting anomalies that occasionally appear. Over time, most pennies from this era became worn and circulated heavily, making flawless examples increasingly scarce. When a 1952 penny emerges in exceptional condition, it can be a collector's dream. Condition is paramount when it comes to coin value. The difference between a circulated penny and a mint state coin is huge. Mint state coins show no wear and retain all their original mint luster and intricate details. These uncirculated examples from 1952 are particularly rare because most coins from this period were used heavily in daily life. Their survival in such perfect condition is often thanks to being tucked away in collections or forgotten storage for decades. Adding to the 1952 penny's allure are known mint errors and variations that make certain specimens stand out even more. For example, some 1952 pennies feature a doubled die, a minting error that creates a doubling effect in the inscriptions or date, making the coin visually unique and highly prized. Collectors and numismatists often seek out these rare variations, knowing they can significantly increase a coin's value. These errors are fascinating not only because they're rare but because they provide a glimpse into the minting process. The intricate machinery and human oversight at the mints occasionally produce these anomalies, turning ordinary coins into remarkable collector's items. Discovering such an error on a 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny instantly elevates its status in the collecting community. Beyond the minting details, the 1952 penny is a tangible piece of post-war America, a time of optimism, rebuilding, and hope for the future. Holding one of these coins connects collectors to a moment in history when everyday Americans were shaping the country's future. This blend of historical significance and rarity fuels the passion and high demand for these pennies. Recently, an extraordinary 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny surfaced that encapsulated all the qualities collectors prize. It was uncirculated, perfectly preserved, and displayed a notable minting variation. This coin went through rigorous authentication and grading by top experts, confirming its exceptional quality and rarity. When this penny finally appeared at auction, it captured widespread attention from numismatists and investors alike. Bidding was fierce, driven by the coin's impeccable condition and the fascinating story it represented. Ultimately, this rare gem sold for a breathtaking $178,000. This sale underscores how a humble coin, initially worth just 1 cent, can become a prized artifact commanding immense value in today's collector's market. The 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a prime example of how history, rarity, and condition converge to create something truly special. So, if you ever come across a 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny that appears unusually crisp, or perhaps shows signs of a minting anomaly, consider having it examined by a professional. It could be more than just a penny, it could be a rare treasure with tremendous worth. For those passionate about the stories hidden within coins and the thrill of discovery, make sure to subscribe and follow along. There's always more to uncover in the fascinating world of numismatics. Remember, what looks like a simple penny could be worth an incredible $178,000. Top 5. The Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most cherished and historically significant coins in American numismatics. Among these, the 1954 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny holds a special place, not just as a piece of currency, but as a fascinating artifact with stories of the past and surprising value in the present. This penny, minted in a time of transition and prosperity, offers much more than its 1-cent face value might suggest. Today, let's dive deep into the history, unique features, and remarkable worth of the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny, minted during a period when the United States was enjoying post-war economic growth. The 1954 penny reflects the stability and optimism of the early 1950s. The design is familiar and beloved. On the front, the noble profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, stands as a tribute to one of the nation's greatest presidents. The reverse showcases 2 wheat ears, a classic symbol of America's agricultural heritage and the prosperity that fed its people. This design had been in circulation since 1909, making it one of the longest-lasting and most iconic coin designs in U.S. history. Though millions of 1954 pennies were minted across Philadelphia and Denver, finding examples in pristine, uncirculated condition has become increasingly rare. Most pennies from this era show the wear and tear of everyday use, scratches, loss of detail, and dulling of the original luster. However, coins preserved with sharp details and brilliant surfaces are highly prized by collectors and can command significantly higher prices. The 1954 penny, in particular, has drawn attention not only because of its condition rarity but also due to certain interesting mint errors that occasionally appear. One such intriguing feature collectors look for is the double die error. This minting anomaly causes a doubling effect on parts of the coin's inscriptions, such as the date or the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Coins with these subtle but fascinating flaws often become the crown jewels of collections, fetching prices far beyond those of regular pennies. These errors provide a fascinating glimpse into the minting process, revealing how even the most precise machinery and quality control occasionally allowed unique quirks to slip through, creating treasures for collectors to discover decades later. The 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny is not just valued for its minting details, but also as a piece of post-war Americana. It serves as a tangible connection to an era when America was redefining itself, embracing innovation, and enjoying unprecedented economic prosperity. For collectors, holding this penny is like holding a fragment of history, a reminder of the past's influence on the present. As interest in numismatics has grown worldwide, so too has the market value of rare and well-preserved pennies like the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Coins graded as mint state 65 or above, indicating near-perfect condition with full original luster and no significant flaws, are incredibly rare and highly desirable. The combination of condition, rarity, and historical significance makes these pennies highly competitive items at auctions and private sales. Recently, a remarkable 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny was discovered, an exceptional specimen with stunning preservation and a clear double die error. The coin was carefully authenticated and graded by expert numismatists, confirming its rarity and flawless state. When it was put up for auction, collectors and investors alike recognized its value, leading to a bidding war that captivated the numismatic community. The final price achieved was a staggering $168,000. This impressive valuation highlights how a seemingly ordinary coin, once worth just a penny, can become a prized artifact commanding a remarkable sum. The 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny exemplifies how history, rarity, and condition come together to create incredible value in the world of coin collecting. That if you ever come across a 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny that appears unusually well preserved or shows signs of minting errors, it's worth seeking a professional appraisal. You might be holding a rare treasure with a worth far beyond what you imagine. For those fascinated by the stories coins can tell and the thrill of discovering hidden gems, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. The world of numismatics is filled with endless stories waiting to be uncovered. Remember, a single penny from 1954 can hold a fortune, valued at an astonishing $168,000. Top 6. The Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1955 stands as a remarkable piece of American numismatic history, encapsulating the spirit of a post-war nation and the enduring legacy of one of the country's most beloved presidents. While at face value it might seem like just a simple 1-cent coin, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny holds an allure that has captivated collectors for decades. Today, we dive deep into its rich history, unique characteristics, and astonishing market value that can surprise even the most seasoned coin enthusiasts. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series began in 1909, introduced to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday and to break tradition by depicting a real historical figure rather than the usual allegorical symbols. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny showcased Lincoln's dignified profile on the obverse, symbolizing unity and progress. The reverse featured 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing prosperity and growth, a fitting design for a nation that valued hard work and opportunity. By the time 1955 rolled around, the Lincoln Wheat Penny had become a familiar fixture in the pockets and registers of Americans across the country. Millions were minted primarily at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. These coins circulated widely, serving everyday purposes such as buying groceries, paying for transportation, and everyday small transactions. Despite the high volume, finding 1955 pennies in pristine condition today is no easy feat, especially those that retain their original mint luster and sharp design details. What makes the 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny particularly fascinating are certain rare variations and mint errors that occasionally appear, which can dramatically increase the coin's value. One of the most famous among collectors is the 1955 double die penny, a striking minting error where the inscriptions and date appear doubled, creating a visually captivating effect. This error is one of the most renowned and sought after in U.S. coin collecting history, drawing attention far beyond typical wheat pennies. Beyond mint errors, the condition of the coin plays a critical role in determining its worth. Most 1955 pennies have seen heavy circulation, showing signs of wear and surface imperfections. However, those few specimens that have been carefully preserved or forgotten in collections for decades are incredibly valuable. Coins graded in mint state conditions, particularly MS 65 or higher, can command impressive prices due to their rarity and eye appeal. The 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny also represents a significant period in American history, a time of economic expansion, social change, and cultural growth. Holding one of these coins connects collectors to an era when the United States was rapidly evolving and solidifying its position as a global power. For many, these pennies are not just currency, they are small pieces of a larger historical narrative, making them all the more special. Recently, a breathtaking example of the 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny, featuring exceptional preservation and displaying a rare mint error, emerged in the collector's market. This coin underwent rigorous authentication and grading by leading experts, confirming its impeccable condition and extraordinary rarity. The excitement around this coin culminated in a highly competitive auction, where passionate collectors and investors vied for ownership. In the end, this remarkable penny sold for a staggering $162,000. This extraordinary price serves as a powerful reminder that even the most common coins can hold incredible value when rarity, condition, and history come together. The 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a testament to the fascinating world of numismatics, where a simple piece of copper can transform into a coveted treasure. If you ever come across a 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny that looks unusually sharp, or exhibits minting quirks, it could be worth far more than its face value. Having such a coin professionally evaluated might reveal a hidden gem that collectors would prize highly. For those who are passionate about uncovering the stories behind coins and eager to learn more about rare finds, don't forget to subscribe and stay connected. The journey through numismatic treasures is filled with surprises and unforgettable discoveries. Remember, the humble 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny can be worth an astonishing $162,000, proving that sometimes, the smallest coins hold the biggest stories. Top 7. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, minted in 1957, is a fascinating relic from a time when America was continuing to shape its identity in the post-war era. While to the casual observer it might look like just another penny, for coin collectors and history enthusiasts, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny carries an unmistakable charm and significance. This coin not only tells a story of American resilience and heritage, but it also holds surprising value in today's numismatic market. Let's take a deep dive into the history, features, and worth of this remarkable coin. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's profile, marking a break from the more traditional allegorical figures that had previously dominated American coinage. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin showcased Lincoln's dignified profile on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, symbolizing agricultural prosperity and growth. The wheat penny design lasted until 1958, making it one of the most iconic and enduring coin designs in U.S. history. The 1957 penny, like others in the series, was minted primarily in Philadelphia and Denver. While millions were produced, the vast majority circulated heavily, passing through countless hands and accumulating the wear and tear of everyday life. This makes finding one in uncirculated or mint condition quite rare, which is a key factor in its value. The natural aging process often dulled the coin's original luster, and many suffered from scratches, dings, and discoloration. However, some 1957 Lincoln Wheat Pennies have survived remarkably well. These specimens, especially those that have been stored carefully or forgotten in collections, retain much of their original detail and shine. Such coins are highly prized by collectors who seek examples that reflect the coin's original beauty and craftsmanship. In addition to condition, certain rare variations and mint errors can dramatically increase a coin's value. For instance, the 1957 penny has been known to occasionally exhibit double die errors, where the design elements appear doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. Such errors create a visually striking effect that makes these coins stand out and significantly enhances their desirability. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is also a piece of American history, minted during a period marked by growth and optimism. The nation was experiencing technological advances, expanding suburbs, and a booming economy. Holding one of these pennies today is like holding a tangible piece of that era, connecting the present with a time of transformation. Recently, a particularly exceptional 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny was discovered, a coin in pristine, mint state condition, featuring one of the rare mint errors that collectors dream about. This penny underwent thorough authentication and grading by leading numismatic experts, confirming its rarity and flawless preservation. When it came to auction, the excitement and competition among collectors drove the price sky high. This extraordinary coin sold for a staggering $156,000. This incredible sum highlights how a coin that started life worth just 1 cent can become an extraordinarily valuable collector's item. It's a testament to the power of rarity, condition, and historical significance all coming together. If you happen to find a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny that looks unusually sharp, shiny, or exhibits any unusual doubling or anomalies, it is definitely worth having it examined by a professional. What might seem like an ordinary penny could be a rare treasure hidden in plain sight. For anyone fascinated by history, coin collecting, or simply the thrill of discovery, following these stories offers a window into the past and the exciting world of numismatics. Don't forget to subscribe and join the journey of uncovering more hidden gems and fascinating coins. Always remember, the humble 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny could be worth an astonishing $156,000, proving that sometimes, the smallest objects can hold the greatest value.